Well, listen to this. Gas prices plunging. You heard me right. A report today that the national average for unleaded falling to $3 a gallon, with most states now averaging well below the $3 mark. Now, all told, more than a 22-cent drop since gas peaked around Memorial Day. So will this make headlines in tomorrow's papers the way all the surge in prices did? Dan Gainor says forget about it, and he's not even Italian. He's with the Media Research Center. Also with us is Fox News political analyst Laura Schwartz. Dan, what do you make of this?
Well, the networks were quick to hype when warning us about $4 or $5 or $6 a gallon gas. But when it gets down to $3, they're not going to highlight it at all. In fact, just Friday we were hearing about sky-high gas. They don't ever want to tell us the good news. And, I mean, whether you like the price or not, it's still good news that it's dropped this much.
Laura, what do you make of that?
Well, you know, I don't think news coverage is much of the issue here. The fact remains we're still at record high gas prices, and American families are still having a tough time making ends meet. So, you know, even though they're not covering this and we've dropped, you know, the 23 cents that you're talking about, we're still 14 cents higher than last year, and Americans just think it's going to go back up again. All
right, so let's say, Laura, we dropped that 14 cents, 20 cents, 25 cents, and it continues not to get much media coverage. Would you find that odd?
No, because the crux of the argument remains. We haven't done anything on fuel diversity. We're still dependent on foreign oil. So at the end of the day, we see ourselves having to move ahead, and the Democrats are trying right now in the Senate today, in fact, on energy, trying to raise fuel economy standards and actually make it a federal crime if there's price gouging that goes on. So they're taking different efforts in the short term as well as the long term in fuel diversity. That's what we have to be looking at, because we're still at record highs, and even if we drop 50 cents, the crux of the argument remains. We got to get off of foreign oil.
Dan?
Well, the fact that Laura's wrong about record highs, if the gas price drops, of course, we can't be at record highs, which shows just how wrong the rest of her argument is.
But we're still higher than we were a year ago, and we remain.
We're higher now doesn't mean it's a record. And the rest of the stuff, more government, more taxes, more regulation. We haven't had any sort of price gouging ever found in all the infinite numbers of investigations they've done. So why do you think we're going to find it now? It's just posturing on the part of government. The reason why we have high prices right now is because of government.
Well, I'd like to draw your attention to the FTC report in spring of 2006 that showed price gouging going on after Hurricanes Rita and Katrina. So just look to that, spring 2006, levied by the FTC commissioner. That's what this is based off of, and we got to do something about it.
I believe, Laura, it was localized to 6 independent dealers, and we should point out that they're better than 2,000. But again,
well, they actually showed refineries, wholesalers, and retailers.
No,
this came out of Bert Stupak's report in the House.
They did not say that, by the way. But Dan, I do want to get a sense of whether there is something, Laura's argument, that we've got to focus on bigger issues like conserving on the list that you lose the oomph for when prices do go down.
Well, we should focus on bigger issues, but in fact what's happened is the government has come out and ensured that we're going to continue to have high gas prices, because what they've done, they've said, well, told the refining companies, don't go ahead and build more capacity because we're going to use 20% less gas.
All right,
so
guys,
instead they've de-incentivized them.
All right. I hate to de-incentivize you right to a commercial break. That's what we're doing. I want to thank both of you, though.